it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, that I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find the content useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape, form, or you just want to give this channel some love. The thumbs up really, really do help out massively. If you didn't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, of the beautiful author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com, the founder of Asexualist Academy. Welcome to tonight's episode. I just have to let you know I'm not feeling so well tonight, so my throat is a bit sore, so I'm going to probably keep this video shorter than the ones I usually do. And if my throat starts going, then obviously I will have to go off. My head's quite hot at the moment as well, so I'm not feeling too good. Anyway, I wanted to be here for you, so let's crack on. So the number one reason why most relationships fail and what to do about it. So many people think for some reason that the relationships fail because of the lack of sex or sexual problems. Obviously, being an asexual person myself, I'm not interested in having sex. But you'd be mistaken if you thought that sex was the number one problem. And some other people think it's money. And money is a really, really big factor in why a lot of people do have failed relationships. A lot of people argue over money problems in relationships, which is why it's so important to get yourself financially sorted as much as possible before you get into a relationship. Be financially independent in and of yourself. But the number one reason why relationships fail usually is because of a lack of communication. So particularly a lack of communication skills to communicate with effectively, right? So the number one reason most marriages fail, most people split up in relationships because of the lack of communication overall. This is my research on the internet. And also I can understand that from my own life experience as well, because whatever differences you have at the end of the day, if you cannot convey those correctly, if you cannot express them correctly and communicate effectively with each other, you can't, obviously work out differences. And when you're in a relationship, whether it be a friendship or a romantic relationship, two people are coming together. There are different types of people. They're two individual human beings at the end of the day. No one's as far as I know, there's no clones available yet of anyone. So we're both like individual people, right? When two people come together who are individual, there's bound to be differences, however much you love the person and care about the person. Some of these differences will be maybe deal breakers, which you should have sorted out in the very, very beginning of the relationship. Also, one of the other reasons for failure in a relationship is the expectation. People have different expectations and they don't lay them out, which is again to do with effective communication. So when you're first thinking about getting into a relationship with someone, when the potential's there for a relationship before you even get into it with that person, it's best literally to have effective two-way communication going, where you're literally stating your deal breakers. These would be things like, if it was a relationship, these would be things like marriage, obviously sex if you're asexual, or, obviously, but, sex is important to a lot of people. A lot of asexuals don't want sex, but it's still an important topic to discuss. Like heterosexuals, for example, have different sexual needs. Some people might want to do sex once a week. Some of you might want it 3 times a day. Do you see what I mean? So it's important to have effective communication with all the deal breakers, all the major aspects of a relationship, such as marriage, kids, sex, living together, all these different types of things. So you're both singing from the same hymn sheet to begin with. Obviously, if you want kids, the other person doesn't, or vice versa, that's there's no point in continuing down the road of a relationship if it's a relationship we're after. Obviously, if you're after friendship, then how is that going to work, in terms of traveling to see each other, in terms of communication? Does the person want to do you like texting, do you like video chatting? So it's not just about what you say in the communication, it's about how you communicate as well. So if it's for asexuals, a lot of us are long distance, right? We don't necessarily have our friends in our asexual friends in our city. And if we've got a partner, even, they can be living away from us. And so it's important to recognize and assess, if we've got the same type of communication going forward. So, does that person like Skyping you or video chatting with you on Facebook? Do they prefer emails? Do they prefer texts? Do they prefer in-person conversations? The reason why I was thinking about this so much lately is because I met a person recently, a business event, which I think he just wants a friend, but I didn't know if he liked me romantically or not. But I was messaging him and I thought he liked me and that he wanted to like me converse. But when I got into this text messaging scenario with him, I soon quickly realised it seemed to be me doing all the work and he was just politely responding, and that he wasn't that interested in me. And so he finally did say to me that we can keep our communication the PM period if it's okay. And also I got we'll definitely meet up soon to know each other more, as I prefer verbal conversation. So, that's good that he likes verbal conversation, that he's finally conveyed that to me. But from my personal perspective, with my friends, we usually message, on Facebook loads. We, sometimes video chat, sometimes we're on the phone or by email. We kind of use a lot of different methods of communication, but one of them is definitely written. And as a writer, for me, writing is very, very important. It's very high form of communication for me that I highly value. And so going forward, I don't know if that person would work out to be a really good friend or even potential relationship if they wanted that themselves, because I need a lot of communication. And that doesn't just mean verbal, that means written down communication. If I was in a relationship, I'd want them to be communicating with me by text messaging to see how my day was going, and to share our day with each other, even if we're apart. Do you see what I mean? But even in friendship, do you know what I mean? It's hard for me to build deep, committed types of friendship personally without having more contact with that person. Do you know what I mean? It's like I don't really know the person at all. How can you get to know someone? Well, yeah, I mean, he said he'll meet up with me, so I just have to trust that's the case, and I have to see how it goes. I think it's good that he's been able to actually, communicate with me that his needs. But obviously, that's what I was trying to say. When two people come together, where it's a friendship or a potential relationship, both needs have to be met in some way. Do you see what I'm saying? So really, if someone likes verbal and someone likes written, ideally you want a mixture of both verbal and written, not one way or the other. But with this particular person, when it was feeling like starting to feel one-sided, then I just, I do love in-person communication. It's super important. But I'm used to messaging my friends a lot, especially on Facebook Messenger, at any time of day, and they reply me when they can. We share our days with one another, and it's really lovely. We sometimes phone each other or video chat. I have a deep connection with my friends. As I'm a writer, I love to write too, and written communication I also value highly. One of my friends emails me sometimes too. Anyway, I guess you're not into text messaging, and especially not Facebook messaging. And I prefer a two-way communication where the other person is eager to talk to me, including by text messaging, as I am them. Otherwise, it feels like a one-way, effort conversation. And I'm not, and I'm inconvenient. Otherwise, it feels like I'm like a one-way. Sorry, I'm not feeling too good tonight. Otherwise, it feels like a one-way, one-effort conversation. I am inconveniencing the other person, which doesn't feel good. Time is precious for both of us, so I guess it's best if I message people who value that and the time it takes out of my day and theirs. Have a good week. Do you see what I mean? So that's the problem. If someone doesn't value the type of communication that you have with them, and you're putting a lot of time, energy, and effort into that, when time, energy, and effort is very precious to you, then you have to, you have to come to the conclusion to move on, because what I mean, that person's obviously not gonna be good for you in that way. However, you think you should give the person a chance to communicate with you how they like to as well. So if they want to meet up with me still, I will still meet up with them because they seemed like a really nice person. It doesn't mean to say they're not a nice person. It just means to say that our communications currently don't sit well together. Do you know what I mean? But some people can change, grow, and develop. So the more they like someone as a friend or person, sometimes the more they can communicate, the more they can start messaging and things like that. So things can change, develop, and grow in both ways. You know, I could become more of a verbal person and speak to them more on the, I don't know if they're a verbal as in phone person or video chat person, or if they're just verbal as in person, you know, and they could maybe become more of a message person. But you know, you've got to look at ways of communicating and then actually communication methods, as in effective communication methods. So you know, in terms of relationship particularly, you know, and deep friendships, the way you do it is by being really open and honest with the person, by sharing your day and by giving a sense of your world and your life to them, and they do the same with you. Hi Fiona, it's nice to see you. Just let you know I'm not feeling too well today. I've got a sore throat, so I'm probably not going to stay on here too long because my head's hot and my throat's sore and I don't want to lose my voice again. So but it's lovely to see you. Really nice. So yeah, I was saying the number one problem. How are you doing tonight? Oh no, I'm the same. Are you? You not feeling very well? I was okay, and I was doing some video recording for my asexual meetup mastery course that I still need to finish. Like I so need to finish it. I've been working on it since September and I really need to get done now, but I had to redo the first video because it wasn't. I hope you feel better. Thank you. I had to redo the first video because it wasn't yeah, hot fever, sore throat. Yeah, I hope you get better soon too. There's some flu and stuff going around, but isn't there? But I was doing my asexual meetup mastery course, recording another video because I had to redo the first video, but it's a lot longer. I mean, I spent like, I don't, you know, I have to cut it up because I spent the best part of like an hour doing it. And when I pressed the stop button, I wanted to do some more videos because I've got the last section to finish. I just couldn't do anymore. As I started feeling dizzy, really tired quickly, and my throat started being sore really quickly. So I'm gonna have to work with the lot of video I've done already, but I think tonight I probably won't do anything else because I just feel like I need to rest. But yeah, I was talking about communication being the number one problem why people split up in relationships, you know, because there is, you know, obviously there's sexual incompatibilities, there's money arguments, but the number one reason from my research is the fact that people have a lack of communication skills. They don't communicate effectively with each other. So that's what I was saying. You need to take rest. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm not going to be on here too long because I need to take rest. You're right. So I was saying, you know, when you meet a friend or have a potential relationship, you've got to decide if your methods of communicating as well are effective, whether that be verbal, written in email, phone, text, video chat, all that type of thing. And for me, for example, in a relationship, I need a lot of communication. I need a guy who's willing to video chat with me if he doesn't live near me, who's willing to message me loads and text message or Facebook Messenger, who's willing to keep in touch and share his day, especially if I don't want to live with a guy. And that's why I think when you do a lot of asexuals, they do long distance relationships. It's even more important to have effective communication because, do you know what I mean? You need to keep in touch a lot and maintain the communication to maintain the connection and to maintain the feeling that you're actually in a relationship. Because you need more communication and more effective communication and more communication when you're apart. I mean, there's other dating coaches that say the same thing about I see you having business everywhere. Yes, Viola, you're absolutely right. It will grow. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. It's really strange actually because I got someone on one of my Facebook pages, not asexual page, and they were saying they need this type of this specific type of thing, and I said, well, that's a video I share from someone else's channel, not mine, but I have a product coming out that will about making money online that will be probably what you're looking for. And they're like, oh, they're so excited now. So yeah, so yeah. And I was saying to someone else as well, they were asking me what my plans were for the future, because I asked them theirs, and I literally wrote everything out, and a lot of it was to do with business and career actually, and that I'm more like I'm known globally, like world famous, more than I am already, for, more than just asexuality. But obviously the channel is growing. I love this channel. I absolutely love it. It's like being in my comfy sofa in the lounge. I love it. I do love this channel. So good. I always feel like I'm growing when I'm helping other people on this channel. I always feel like I'm growing as well. So yeah, you're a bit psychic, huh? So yeah, I was talking about growing my business stuff and what I was doing and what my vision. I want to, be a speaker on stage in London at the Excel Centre. That's one of the things I want to do for. Probably it'll be for my other stuff that I'm doing, business stuff that I'm doing. But it'd be nice eventually to do asexual conferences, but it would obviously be under my own business, not under a non-profit, because there's asexuality.org is a non-profit. They're a charity. I'm not a charity. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so it would be nice to do some intensive workshops for asexuals and stuff. Confirmation from you. Jesus loves you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's really sweet. I usually talk to God actually rather than Jesus, because I don't believe in the Holy Spirit, and I believe that Jesus just sits next to God. So I just usually always talk to God quite a bit actually. But I'm quite spiritual more than the religious. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I do. But I've had a lot of accidents in my life, so I'm very grateful to the planet, God, powers that be, the universe, everything up there in the great scheme of things. I'm very grateful to be alive. Because 3 days before my 12th birthday, I got knocked over by a moped years ago, which no one knows, I don't think, on this channel until I've just said it, apart from my friends who watch this channel. Yeah, so I'm lucky to be alive, and your man will support you. Oh, thank you. Yes, really weird. Yeah, I was saying that in this message to this friend who was the Indian guy I was talking to a couple of days ago, actually, day before last. But he's heterosexual and can't be committed in a relationship with me, so it's not going to be him. But yeah, I did say that. I said, I want the guy to support me in my career, like when I'm being speaker on stage in London, that maybe he'll come in the audience sometime and support me, and he'll support my asexual work, maybe even come occasionally on my channel or in live chat, for example. Do you know what I mean? Because one of my exes, they did that. They were, they supported me. It's not him. Yeah, Theola, it's not him. Yeah, it's not the heterosexual Indian guy. Another confirmation. Yeah. I felt a bit sad, really. It wasn't him, because he's in this country at the moment, but he's going back to his own country in October anyway. But yeah, so I did write everything out of my future life that I want. I wrote a long message like, oh, what's your plan? So I thought, I wasn't feeling well at the time, so I had to wait a bit. And then later I wrote it all out. The house I want, the rooms I want, and everything. Because it's while we're talking about communication, it's important to effectively communicate with a potential partner what you're looking for in a relationship or friend. So obviously this guy was the one who messaged me for 7 hours the other day, which was I was a bit upset about that, because he is Indian in my country, and kind of the look I like and the age I like, but he's heterosexual, so he's no good, because he couldn't live without sex ever, forever. And so, but I was writing exactly, like everything that I want in my future, and I think that's really important, because if you are thinking about getting into a relationship with someone specifically, then you should be talking about future plans together. I can't believe this. I must have read your mind. I didn't know that. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about, I want to be well. I don't think I'll read all of it out, because it's a bit personal, but where was I? Oh, career-wise, it was be a #1 best-selling author, be financially free doing what I love, financially stable and independent, be world famous more, be a speaker on stage in London at the Excel Centre, likely for success resources, and have people buying my products and services. And then it was relationships. This is relationships. So this is what you should be doing. So this guy, obviously, we were messaging the other day for 7 hours. So I wanted just to check in with him to see what his plans were for his future and what my plans were for my future, because I thought it's good to share this. Because this is what you should do in effective communication, right? If you are even considering remotely getting into a relationship with someone on any level, you should be asking them what their future goals, ambitions, and dreams are. Because if their goals, ambitions, and dreams don't match up with your goals, ambitions, and dreams, it's literally a no-go. There is absolutely no point in pursuing anything, right? So I said relationships. I may as well tell you, right? So this is what I said about relationships. I said have a loving, hugely supportive of my career, Indian asexual soulmate, or someone who doesn't need sex life partner. See? Someone who is into business/IT, someone who is younger in birth certificate age than me, ideally in his early to mid-20s, short dark hair, clean shaven, thin, who loves tongue kissing and public displays of affection as much as I do, and who is super romantic, teenage style passion without the sex, bliss, who doesn't need someone who doesn't need the limelight like I do, but who will be happy to have his relationship status on Facebook as with me, and who will be proud to be seen with me in photos, support the work I do for asexuals. See, Viola? Exactly right, you are. Support the work I do for asexuals and others, who would even come on my live streams occasionally, and maybe in chat there, who will be my rock, my strong guy in every way, who will be proud to be with an older girl and happy for all his family and friends to meet me. He will adore me, love spending time with me, be besotted with me in a loving and caring way, who is my soulmate, best friend, and love of my life, all in one, who will talk to me about the world, planet, and universe, and who will do his best to make me happy always, and who shares all his secrets with me and hides nothing from me, who is an excellent communicator. See, I'm talking about communication now, and who I have the deepest emotional bond ever with, like no other, and who likes my look but adores my quirky personality even more, who is unconventional like me, and who also doesn't need sex, as I said before, as that isn't love, and who doesn't need kids or marriage, but who would be super committed to me and tell any other woman who tried to engage him romantically that he is not interested in them, only me, and who will be steadfast and strong in this way. Someone who is not an excuse maker, which I see loads of, but an action taker. Someone who would travel miles to see me, move countries to be with me. Someone who says he will do things and just does it, because life is way too short. He is proudly friends with me on Facebook, video chats with me, phones me, pursues me. Oh my God. Sorry, God. Where am I? All right, video chats me, phones me, pursues me, spends time with me because he values my worth, time, energy, and effort. Someone who does not expect or need me to do housework for him, but can look after himself in this respect, as I don't like doing that. And if he can cook for me, it would be a bonus. Haha. Oh, wow. Yes, true. Woohoo. Wow. Wow. I love that. Yeah. So I know exactly what I want in the type of guy. I said about keep writing books that change people's lives as well. For some reason, I've got given myself a down emoji on that now by accident. I put my thumbs down on my own thing. How did I do that? Oh, now I've given myself an up emoji. Oh, well. I didn't know I could change it back. I've never been able to change it before. So, yeah. I put friends, keep all the awesome friends I've got and spend more time with them doing fun stuff. So, yeah. So yeah, I wrote a lot of the stuff that you talk about. I mean, I did obviously say a lot the other day about my soulmate, what you should look like and do as well on previous videos. But yeah, it's very important that I get someone supportive. So yeah, this obviously isn't the guy. So, you know, but I honestly believe still that my soulmate's Indian. I just know he is. But I think, you know, I'm just going to focus on my career at the moment and keeping healthy and you know, doing all the business stuff that I need to do. So yeah, because, you know, I deserve a good guy. I think a business guy is going to be far better for me as well. You know, someone who's like an entrepreneur like I am, someone who's like, you know, got his own business and stuff, who knows how the work I do is very good. Do you know what I mean? Even if I think he's probably going to be asexual, but even if he isn't asexual, he'd gladly support me publicly with my asexuality and all the work I do for asexuals, because I'm not going to stop doing work for asexuals. It's not going to happen. So he's, you know, he's got to be able to be happy and supportive doing that, you know. You know, and when I'm speaking on stage, it'd be nice to have him in the audience sometimes. Do you know what I mean? It'd be nice to have him cheering me on. It'd be nice if he valued and appreciated my work I do. Do you know what I mean? My friends do that. Like my best friend Sam is absolutely amazing. They just got me a new hard drive to support this channel and all the work I do for my for my Mac, because my Mac keeps getting full up and it's been hard to finish the Asexual Meetup Mastery course off. I was working on again tonight because my Mac keeps getting low memory. So big shout out to Sam, who usually watches this channel. Thank you so much for the hard drive. I can't believe it. It's like a gift. I'm like, wow, for all the work I do on here and to show support, and you know, I thought that's incredible. So because I've got take my Mac into the Mac store next week for looking at, because it's had some difficulties. But yeah, so it's really important that when you first thinking about starting a relationship with someone, you literally do spell out exactly what you're looking for in terms of your relationships, family, friends, life goals, ambitions and dreams. And a lot of people, they don't do that. A lot of people in life, they don't know what they want. They don't actually reflect on what they want. And that's why a lot of people fail relationships, because they literally don't sit down and reflect personally on what they like. They should be reflecting on their, you know, what they like want in terms of family, what they want in terms of friends to happen. They should be reflecting on their goals, life, ambitions, dreams, their mission, their spirituality. They should be reflecting on love, finances, career, you know, life missions, all this type of thing. And people should be writing down exactly, you know, like what they envisage, what their ideal case scenario is for all that. Because without a clearly defined goal and without clearly defined, you know, view of what they want, they'll end up with what they don't want, and they'll realize that they're in a relationship after so much time and it's not what they really want. And so obviously, and then they might be scared to say it, which means they won't effectively communicate what they want and need. And so therefore, you know, it won't work. Wow, that's kind of him. Yeah, it's really kind of Sam to do that. Of them. Oh, there are them. Sorry, Viola, I should have told you there are them. They're male in body, but they're non-binary, so they identify as them rather than he or him. Well, it took me a while because I knew them originally as a him, but they're them, they and them now. So I have to try and say they or them because you know, I have to respect the fact they're non-binary, which I do. So they prefer not to be one gender or the other, which is really good. So yeah, so you know, it's important to have very effective communication. And I see so many people on asexual dating sites and they literally don't put anything in their bio. You know, it's very basic stuff like which country they live in, what gender they are, and like, you know, generally hobbies and interests, things that they just tag, like the little tags like arts and sport and cars and that type of thing. There's nothing in their bio to say what type of person they are, what type of person they're looking for, things about them that people need to know. You know, there's nothing. And so that's not effective communication from the beginning. You know, effective communication is all about being completely open and honest with the other person, even if sometimes it's not what the other person wants to hear. Like my best friends, we're very open, honest communicators with each other, you know? very open, honest communicators with each other, and we're just very tell each other the truth, and even difficult things, and we know each other's weaknesses and strengths, and we know that we see each other through good times and not so good times. Do you know what I mean? It's really important. But when you've got very effective communication, it means you can have such a deep friendship or deep relationship with someone like no other. When you stop communicating effectively and you have secrets from the other person, you hide stuff from the other person, and you don't have an ongoing conversation like they are your best friend, then it can, if you want to get close to that person in terms of friendship or relationship, it's very difficult to, because you can't quite reach them. It's like they're in the shadows. It's like they're far from you because they're not opening up their true authentic nature and self, so it's really, really important that you have effective communication, and it's more important that you talk about things and work things out than be right. Some people in relationships, they just both want to be right so much that both of them end up splitting up, but really they don't want to split up. They just want to be right because their ego takes over, and that isn't good. Some people who get divorced, they get married again. If they got the communication right in the first place, then they wouldn't have to have got divorced in the first place. Do you know what I mean? And so it's really important that people do focus on communication, on methods of communication, and how they like to be communicated with. And it's important that you communicate, both of you communicate how you like to be communicated with. Do you know what I mean? And both of you try and accommodate people how they feel comfortable. CA8620. When I feel depressed, I slap my wife. That's horrible. Why do I feel better than? Is there something else I can do? Friends told me to slap the dog, but it's not the same feeling. Can you help me? Are you being serious? You shouldn't slap your wife. It's abuse. It's physical abuse. You shouldn't slap a dog. You shouldn't slap a wife. You shouldn't slap anyone. It's abuse. Physical abuse. So why are you doing it if you're being physically abusive? You should... Well, if you need help, you go and see a counsellor, because I'm not a counsellor. You go and get anger management therapy and let your wife go. Let her go to a better life. Do you know what I mean? If you can't stop hitting her, then you go to a better life. First I slap myself, then I go crazy. I have no money. Well, if you have no money, then how are you supporting her and yourself? You shouldn't be slapping anyone. You should go and get some, you can go and see, I don't know which country you live in. She don't want to go. Yeah, probably because she loves you. So you have to stop slapping her, don't you? You have to control yourself and stop doing it. Because if it's wrong, you don't do it, do you? You can learn how to control yourself and control your emotions. My wife is working for me. But you said you have no money. So how can she be working for you? Unless you mean she's working for the both of you. But you shouldn't be slapping her. It's physical abuse. You can be done for it in law. Do you know what I mean? So you need to go and get some help and seek a counsellor or phone a number to get some psychological help for anger management. She should be safe away from you while you're doing that. You need to get anger management. You need to be willing to change and know that you're an abuser. You're an abuser if you slap your wife. You're an abuser if you slap your dog. You're an abuser if you hit anyone. You shouldn't be hitting anyone. It's abusive. Because you feel better. What, you feel better than your wife and better than your dog? Well, clearly you're not better, are you? Because you're an abuser. Abusers are not better, are they? Abusers are seriously low vibrational energy and low personality. You need to get some therapy and counsellor. I'm not a therapist or counsellor, so you need to get some professional help. And there's no way you can be better than the person. if you're going around doing that, because it's a low value action. Abuse is not nice, it's not right, and you shouldn't be doing it. You have drug problems too. Well, that doesn't surprise me. So if you know you've got problems, then go and get some help. Go to the doctor. Go and get it sorted out. Improve your life, improve yourself. Or do you just want to carry on doing this for the rest of your life? You know? Your wife deserves better. She deserves a loving, caring person. I can't help you because I'm not a therapist and I'm not a counsellor. You need to go and get some proper drug rehabilitation and go see a counsellor or therapist. Like I've said, I've told you what you need to do. You need to go to your doctor, tell the doctor you've got a problem, that you've got a drug habit that you need to kick, and that you've got that you're abusing your wife. And you shouldn't be doing that, and that you need some serious help. And you should really ideally be separate from her so that she doesn't have to put up with that. You should go off for several months and go and get yourself fixed. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know why you would possibly think you were better than her when you're doing low value actions. I mean, what quality man does that to his wife or a pet? Dog, they just don't. A good quality guy wouldn't do that, you know? A guy who does stuff like that, like you say, has got big problems. They've got a lot of problems. And if you feel better than your wife, it's because you've got a big ego that you need to sort out. So go and get some therapy. Go and see a psychologist, a therapist, a counsellor, and go to your doctor so they can refer you. Do you know what I mean? So that's what you need to do. And you need to stop the behaviour. Just stop it and control yourself. Do you know what I mean? Go for a walk if you feel angry. Go for a walk around the block. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, hitting someone's not right. It's abusive. Very, very abusive. And you have to recognise you've got a problem and go and sort it out. And you have to realise you're definitely not better than her because she's not physically hitting you, is she? She's actually going out to work. Well, it's only whatever's possible is only possible if you make it possible. We're only limited by our own beliefs. So it's up to you, isn't it? Like I said, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor. So, you know, I'm not qualified to give you advice. I have had also betting issues. When I go out, people will look for me. So why didn't you just stop doing all that? Why didn't you just decide to be a better person and just stop doing all that stuff? Stop taking drugs, stop betting, and stop. I stopped. Well, yeah, I mean, you've got people looking for you because you got into trouble, didn't you? They still want the money. Well, I think your wife's in a very unsafe position, so I think she should go and she should go and be in a safer position. I don't think she should be with you if you're hurting her. I think she should be set free by you to go and live the life that she needs to live. And I think you need to go off and get therapy and get sorted out. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, I'm no counsellor, I'm no psychologist, I'm no doctor, I'm no couple therapist. So, do you know what I mean? Go and get one of them, because that's the best advice I can give you is going through the proper channels, because I'm not, I'm not qualified professional in any aspect of those things. So you need someone who's, knows how to deal with that type of thing. But, you should, a strong man should want to protect their wife from harm. A strong man should want to take care of his wife. A strong man should be able to not get into these situations in the first place. Do you know what I'm saying? A strong man, like I said, should particularly want to protect his woman, not hurt her. So, you know what I mean? You need to sort yourself out and go and get some therapy. I am weak. Yeah, I gathered that. It's up to you if you want to change your life, isn't it? We only get one life. Do you want to carry on being the way you are, or do you want to change? Do you know what I mean? It's up to you, isn't it? No one can do it for you. It's up to you. As I told you, I only slap her when I feel depressed. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. shouldn't be slapping her at all. It's disgusting. She could have you done by the police for it. It's grievous bodily harm. It's abuse. She could go to the police. Do you know what I'm saying? You could be locked up in prison for her, for physically assaulting her. So I think you need to go and get some professional help, like I said. Do you know what I mean? There's plenty of people that feel depressed without going around hitting people. Do you know what I'm saying? Plenty of people that feel depressed. My children went to the police already. And so what, they didn't obviously do anything, the police, because they classed it as domestic, did they? So why don't you become a better person? Why are you, if you know you're weak and you're telling me you've got all these problems, you need help, why aren't you going to get help? Do you know what I mean? Why aren't you going to the doctor to get some help? Why aren't you going through therapy for the next couple of years? They took the kids. Good for them. So they should. The kids need protecting, don't they? Ever since I'm seriously depressed. But then take responsibility for your life, isn't it? Take responsibility for yourself and your life. Stop blaming other people for the way you feel. Face the person in the mirror. Stop being weak. Be strong. And change your life. Do you know what I mean? Like, were you just going to carry on going like this forever and a day? Do you know what I'm saying? It's up to you, isn't it? Choice is in your hands. No one else can do it for you. I recommend getting therapy and stuff, but unless you're willing to change yourself and know what you're doing is wrong and stop it, and you learn how to control your behavior, control your actions, then nothing's going to change, is it? My oldest son, 14, always stole my drugs. There are no good kids. Well, you brought him up that way, didn't you? If your oldest son's stealing your drugs, what does that say about you? What does that say about you? It's just a reflection of yourself. People in your life are a reflection of you. So if your oldest son, 14, is stealing your drugs, then it's a reflection of you. Do you know what I'm saying? So unless you're willing to change, nothing will happen, will it? Nothing will change. Change starts from within, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? There are plenty of good kids in this world that have good parents. It's not good parenting if you're allowing your children to be exposed to drugs, is it? They're not going to really have a great life on drugs, are they? Everyone knows that drugs are really bad. They're bad for the body, bad for the brain, and they stay in the body for 5 years even after you give them up. But it's still worth giving them up. Do you know what I mean? So, and if he's not a good kid, it's only because, you've brought him up that way. So change your life, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's never too late. You're sat here telling me all this stuff, but you're the one who needs to take control of yourself, control of your life, and stop slapping your missus, isn't it? My father slapped my mum too. That's normal, I think. Well, obviously it's not normal. Because if it was normal, you wouldn't be on this channel now telling me what you're doing, would you? Do you know what I mean? Why would you be on this channel when I was talking about effective communication skills, all of a sudden coming in talking to me about how you abuse your wife? Why would you do that? Do you know what I mean? Why would you do that? That's obviously not normal, is it? You've told me you're weak and you told me you need to get some help. I know that I need help with what you said. So if you know you need help, then you need to go and get some help and go and do what you need to do, isn't it? The problem with a lot of people today is they don't take responsibility for their own actions, their own life, and their own way of living. They blame other people. Is there a phone number in area of Dundee for free help? Well, you can phone the Samaritans, can't you, for a start? Do you know what I mean? You can phone Samaritans. Your Dundee is in the UK, isn't it? I presume, but there's sometimes there's the same names in foreign countries as there is over here. But, they can phone the Samaritans. Just Google the Samaritans. I can give you the number. For free help. Yeah, exactly. For free help. So, if you want the Samaritans number, I'll get it you. Scotland. So, you're welcome. Samaritan's phone number. It's an 03 number. But you can text them. O 034. There we go. So it's 0330 094 5717. 0330 094 5717. No, that's not a free number, I don't think. Is wait a minute, is it free? Oh, it says yes, this number is free to call. Oh right, okay. It says this number is free to call from both landlines and mobiles, including pay as you go. You do not need to have credit or call allowance on your plan to call 116123. Oh right, they've got another number there. 116123 by the look of it. Right, okay. So you can phone free on this number. There we go. Where is it? 116123. Got it? 116123. Got it? Does Jesus love me anyway? I think you should be more worried about your wife than Jesus in this respect. So go and get yourself sorted out. Do you know what I mean? So there we go. You got it. You're welcome. So anyway, yeah, it's really, really important to have effective communication in relationships. I hope you've appreciated and liked this video. I'm going to leave you now. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you very much for your comments and chat and questions. I always appreciate my community for being here. I hope you get some help, CA8620, and become a better person. Oh, thank you. Have a nice evening. You're very welcome. Thanks so much to Theola as well. Lots of love as always. And yeah, see you on the next video or live stream. And I will talk to you soon. Embrace your quirky and each other's. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.